Good evening everyone, especially to our teacher, Ma'am Tali. Good evening, ma'am. So we are the fourth reporter and our report is all about holistic assessment. So I am the first reporter of our group. So I'm gonna discuss to you the meaning of assessment and what assessment is for. So what is assessment? When you see assessment, it is an important aspect of learning and teaching. Assessment, it is a way of supporting learning, meaning it should be effectively used to support the holistic development of our pupil. So, assessment is like you making inferences about the learning and development of students. So, in education, as a teacher, we need to use some information to increase students' learning and development. So, this is the way to monitor the student if they learn and has a progress happen about their learning process. The purpose of assessment is to gather information about students' performance, and it is also encourage them the understanding of teaching. The teacher will get the feedback and input from the student by doing or giving this like research paper, exam, or a presentation or some project to the learners. So remember, assessment is very important for the learners. So the teacher needs to support and help to assist the students' learning and monitor them to make sure that the learners have achieved the skills they have developed in their life. So that's all of my topic, and the next reporter, she will discuss to you the holistic assessment, and later the other reporter will discuss also the characteristic of assessment. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day to each and everyone. I'm Cheryl Delfinado and my topic is holistic assessment. Holistic assessment. It is referred to the ongoing gathering of information of different facets of a child from various sources with the aim of providing qualitative and quantitative feedback to support and guide the child's development. Holistic assessment is the process on how we teach the children in their learning process and also guiding them to learn and gather new information. So the holistic assessment is the guide of the teachers on how they handle to deliver the information that teaches to their children or to their learners. It also focuses on learning process. That was the holistic assessment. For example, the teachers teaches the learner on how to gain a healthy body. So, as a teacher, you must gather a lot of information or researches on how to gain a healthy body for you to share to your learners, and also the learners do the same. They were applied the process or the information you give to them, and then they were gain a new information. So they were observed that your given information was effective. So that was the assessment also to themselves. They gain a new information that on the information on how to gain a healthy body. So that was also an example of an holistic assessment. A holistic assessment not only in the school we will do it or we will gain it. It also applied in some places such as in our home. Parents also has the part in the development or developing the growth of child in everyday life. They also gaining new information while they are living in their home, or they were teaches by their parents, their friends, or other people, or their family, the new information. That was also an holistic assessment example. So that's all.
5 characteristics of assessment. Number 1 is proximity to actual language use and performance. Assessment procedures should be based on activities that have authentic communicative function rather than ones with little or no intrinsic communicative value. So it says that as a teacher, you should give them an activity that they can share the ideas, express their feelings. It could be an oral or writing activity. The example that have communicative function is you have to group your learners, give questions and let them explain, expound their ideas or opinions about it. So as a group, there will be a discussion and each one could give his/her idea. These activities are based on actual performance and authentic situation which the learners is likely to encounter in his or her daily life. So in this activity, you will see the development of every learner in communicating and how they interact based on actual performance and authentic situation.
The second characteristic of assessment. So the second is a holistic view of language. So assessment procedures are based on the notion that the interrelationship among the various aspects of language, so such as phonology, grammar, and vocabulary. So phonology is the branch of linguistics that deals with system of sounds including or excluding phonetics. So within a language or between different languages. So the grammar is the set of structural, and the vocabulary is related to the inability of students to understand the listening text, and among others cannot be ignored. So also we have the 4 skills of language. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So we have 4. So that 4 are seen to be part of structurally integrated world. And assessment approaches should be used for communication and self-expression to easily understand the given assessment. And also, it takes into account the whole learner and his or her social, academic, and physical context.
Number 3. An integrative view of learning. Assessment attempts to capture the learner's total array of skills and abilities. For example, you as a teacher, we must focus to our learners to do this assessment. It measures language proficiency in the context of a specific subject matter. Assessment procedures are based on the idea that various aspects of a learner's life, both academic and personal, are integral to the development of language proficiency and cannot be ignored. To avoid the ignorance, and even it is a different ideas or aspects in life, so we have a right to develop our skills and our personalities. And also this dimension include not only processes such as acquiring and integrating knowledge, extending and refining knowledge, and using knowledge meaningfully, but also issues such as varying student attitudes towards learning.
Developmental appropriateness. When we say developmental appropriateness, it is describe an approach to teaching that respect both the age of the children and also the individual need of a child on how the young children develop and how to learn. Because developmentally appropriate does not mean thing is here for the children. Rather, it means ensuring that goals and experiences are suited their learning and development, and the challenging enough to promote their progress and interests. When we say cognitive, we need to promote their cognitive on in what way they are learned. For example, in one classroom, there are the diversity of the learner, which is they have the fast learners and slow learners. So, slow learners need to full support of the teacher, and also the strategy of the teaching, and that's suited to the slow learners. So, and there are the challenges of the early childhood education, why the development of the children cannot appropriate, because lack of adequate teaching learning resources, and also the economic factors and the financial constraints. So when we say financial constraints, almost of the younger than 5 years old in low income and middle income fail to reach the full development potential because of unsafe conditions. So there are the poverty, malnutrition, extreme stress, and negative interactions, neglect, conflict, and many more. So that the young age cannot develop their potential and how to learn more. It is because lack of their needs. So when we are teacher or as a parents, so I need to support, or we need to support the young age of or our children. We need to support them, we need to guide them until they are succeed.
Number 5, the multiple referencing. Now, we can proceed in our topic, the characteristic of assessment. Number 5, the multiple referencing. When say multiple referencing, that is the assessment, obtaining information about your learning from numerous resources and through various means. So, as a teacher, you should not rely on single resources. You should be resourceful so that we can easily understand what our students need. Okay, we have 3 assessments that we should do in our student. Okay, for students and for parents, and the last for the teacher. Okay, for the student, assessment allow them to show or to see their accomplishment in terms that they understand, and consequently allow them to assume the responsibility for learning. So that we know what is happening in what they have done, so that they can give a chance to improve their works, and what they need to do, improve it. You need to give an evaluation. We need to say their works and accomplishments, to say them that is wrong, or for example you should improve it. So if they have complained, you should say that is wrong. Okay, you have an assessment for them to say their work is need an improvement. Okay, so next, for our parents. For our parents, your assessment should allow parents to share in the educational process and offer them a clear insight into what their children are doing in the school. You should really able to share with parents what is happening to their children in the school, to ask parents what is problem with their children or why he's struggling, so that we can find a way. Because more parents can say, oh, my children is good in the house, because we cannot say that your children's behavior at home is same at school. Trudy,
all. Okay, for the teacher, the primary advantage for assessment is that it improves and provides data on their student and their classroom for education decision making. So, because of this, the teacher will get to know his student better, and it helps to know what strategy he will use to learn his student and to meet their needs for the student to learn. This is the characteristic of assessment, the multiple referencing. So thank you for listening, and I hope you understand, you have an understand, and thank you for watching.